is not going to stop a great conversation at 9:24 on a Wednesday morning in the heart of the 618. Cory Jobe on the line now. Sir, how are we doing? Spooky season starting now.
It is. Well, thank you for having me this morning. Sorry I couldn't be in studio, but where there's a will, there's a way, right? So thank you for having us.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm excited to talk about this. You know, it's not only just in Alton, but all around the Great Rivers and Routes, you know, a regional map. There's so many great opportunities for families and individuals, adults alike, to go out and really just enjoy a great Halloween season. And I know that you guys have to be excited about it.
Well, we are. And, you know, fall is a busy time of year. You know, over the past couple of years, we've been recognized by the Farmer's Almanac and MSNBC and MSN Travel as one of the top fall foliage drives in the country. And so not only do we have haunted, but we also have the fall foliage that I always say is still undiscovered and very unique. And if you drive the East Coast for fall foliage, it's typically busy, more expensive. And so we've got less travel and more opportunities for people to come around to the Midwest, a 3 to 5 hour drive to take in our fall foliage, our fall events, and of course, haunted. So we're really excited. I know our small business owners are excited. This is kind of their Super Bowl, as they tell me. The next 6 to 8 weeks are critical.
Absolutely, and rightfully so. And on top of that, you just hit on fall foliage, and I think this is really cool out of Grafton. The fall foliage and history shuttle tours over there at the Grafton Sky Tour parking lot with Great River Road, Pierre Marquette Park in that area. This is really cool. Could you fill me in more on this?
So sure, we started this fall foliage and history tour last year when the Spirit of Peoria paddle wheeler boat out of Peoria was sold to a company in Florida. It left us with really no product to sell in terms of a tour, and so we put our heads together and decided to work with one of our great travel docents who helps us a lot with the cruise tours, Rod Jackson, who's a former history teacher and lives in Grafton. So the shuttle tour starts at the Sky Tour parking lot in Grafton at Aries. And then we take a 3-hour trip. We stop at the Elsa General Store. They get out and do a little walk of Elsa. But then there's also a guided tour of Principia College in the grounds, and a spokesperson from Principia steps onto the bus and then gives a history tour of Principia. Of course, there's some photo ops. And then they hop back on and take the back roads up to Pierre Marquette State Park and take a tour and take in all the fall foliage and the wonderful views with more photo ops, and then back to Grafton. And we do it in the afternoon so that visitors, and we're selling them, it's a ticketed shuttle tour. You can go to our website at RiverBender.com and purchase your tickets, but we try to do it where hopefully we do it in the middle of the day. So hopefully people will come first to either Alton or Grafton and have lunch and then get on the tour, or better yet, leave the tour and spend the night and enjoy the Great River Road. So it's something that was very popular last year. We sold out. It's only on Thursday and Fridays in October and the first week in November. And so please, your listeners out there, if they're looking for a great product to do something in the fall, this is one of those. But there's so many other things to do, from the team at Alton Odyssey Tours and Troy Taylor and his tours and McPike Mansion. We're not the only tour option in town. We've got some great small business owners and private tour companies who are providing wonderful experiences, not only in October, but all through the year.
Absolutely, and on top of that too, I got to ask you, as you've been, in your position here for a few years now, is there one event, one destination in the fall here that you kind of look forward to and going, man, I got to make sure I put a special little asterisk on this one and make sure that I find some time to go do it?
Well, there's so many.
Right.
I really enjoy just driving up and down the River Road during the fall. The 33-mile stretch of the meeting of the Great Rivers National Scenic Byway, which is a byway that the Great River Road follows as well, which is a national scenic byway and an all-American road. But we actually manage that 33-mile stretch. The Great Rivers and Routes team does. And so that 33-mile stretch is really a lot of fun. I lived in Chicago for years, and so we have a lot of friends that come down. They take the Amtrak into Alton, and they get out, and we drive the River Road in any season, but in fall particularly, they are just amazed at the beautiful fall foliage and the limestone bluffs and the great businesses and restaurants and coffee shops that are in Alton and the experiences that are in Grafton and everywhere in between. It's a really unique destination. And as I said, fall is a big time for our small business owners, our sites and attractions that rely on travel. This is their opportunity in their season.
Well, and too, with how vast of a region you guys have with Great Rivers and Routes, I'm sure it's always, making sure that you're tying everybody in together and showcasing that. And I think that's something, Cory, that you and the team do really well, is showcasing and highlighting all areas that you guys cover equally. And it's such a huge incentive to get more visitors down here to this beautiful part of the state of Illinois.
Well, it is. This is a regional destination. Not one community can do it on their own. Our goal and our mission is to drive travel to and throughout our 6-county region. And whether that's through leisure travel or through group travel and motor coach business or through sports tourism and business, most on the sports tourism side and the meeting side, they're looking for that leisure product in between meetings or in between games. And we have so much to offer in terms of food, history, nature-based tourism, outdoor recreation. But you hit it. It's really a regional destination. Not one community can do it all, and we continue to drive that message that we are a regional destination. And I think it's working, CJ, because just a couple of weeks ago we announced record-breaking tourism numbers again for the region. We had over $825 million in visitor spending that took place in our 6-county region.
Wow.
And most of that was done right here in Madison County. There was over $512 million in visitor spending. That overall visitor spending in the region's up 25% over 2021, and we continue to raise the bar in terms of getting visitors here from our key markets. We're also seeing an increase in visitor numbers from our key markets from St. Louis, Chicago, Indianapolis, Central Illinois. And we're in that sweet spot of that 3 to 5 hour drive market, something unique, a lot of great outdoor product, nature-based tourism product. And so visitors continue to come. It's our job to continue to drive them here. And I think what's so unique, there's something in every little town or bigger community throughout our 6-county region, whether that's the Great River Road or Route 66. We have the last 100 miles, literally the last 100 miles of Route 66 in our region, from Verdon in Macoupin County all the way to the Chain of Rocks Bridge in Madison. Literally the last 100 miles. And with Route 66 turning 100 years old in 2026, we're working really hard to drive international travel from key markets with the state of Illinois and giving them something unique to explore and experience before they head on west.
Absolutely. And speaking of Route 66, Cory, before we go any further, Henry from Henry's Rabbit Ranch, Rich Henry, will be on the show next week to fill us in on some more fun history of Route 66. Love talking to him.
Well, he's great. We actually have 2 German travel writers that are traveling to our region tomorrow and Friday and Saturday, and they'll be stopping at Henry's and many stops along Route 66, but then they're also going to be taking in the fall adventure here in Alton, Hartford, and Grafton, and also in Elsa. So we're really excited to have those German travel writers in town, sharing the love with their followers back in Germany.
And that it just goes above and beyond to the overall goal for what you guys are trying to accomplish. And I think it's just huge. And you hit on, anytime someone throws out, I call those video game numbers, Cory, because to say the, number 800 million, and it's like, well, yeah, that's it. I mean, that's impressive. And what I think's great is how organized, everything is over there too. If I go over to riversandroutes.com today and just go /things to do haunted, there's all these different opportunities like Halloween fun in Southwest Illinois, why Alton's America's most haunted small town, Mineral Springs, all these different components. And I think that that's such a huge added bonus for everybody that wants to travel here. It's so easy to find.
Well, it is. That's our job, is to we understand the visitor. We have a great visitor profile. We know where our visitors are coming from. We know what they're interested in. And I have to applaud our small business owners, because I say this all the time, and I mean it. The small business community in our region, they're the backbone of the hospitality and travel industry. They don't get enough credit. They work their tails off. Most times the owners are literally in their businesses 7 days a week, and having that unique small business community, whether it's a local sandwich shop, a fine dining restaurant, a coffee shop, a bakery, but whether it's our tour operators and our sites and attraction managers, they get all the credit, because they are really our lifeline in the hospitality and travel industry. And our goal is to market the region outside of a 50-mile radius, to drive travelers into the communities. And we're working on unique product development. We're working on certain things that we think will enhance those opportunities even further. But I always, whenever I get a chance to applaud the small business community in our region, it's pretty special. And we hear that from travel writers, tour operators, the bus drivers that drive the coaches. We hear that day in and day out.
I could only imagine. And Cory, before I let you go, because I know that you're busy and you got a lot to do today, I wanted to ask you, though, a few more questions as we circle back to, the fall attractions and just making sure that we touch on some of the other things. Have you been inside McPike Mansion yet, or as close to the front door as you could? Because I'm still nervous, man. I don't know if I want to do this.
Well, I'm a scaredy cat. I won't lie. When I sit and talk to Troy Taylor and the owners over at McPike, I have been in the wine cellar or the basement at McPike. When I first started my job here a couple of years ago, I did. And yes, it's haunted, and I've done it. But what I think is there's such a story to be told. It's all about storytelling. And usually when you think of haunted, it's around the Halloween season. But I'm always reminded from our owners and our tour operators that own the tours that this is an opportunity you can visit all year round. The paranormal and the spirits don't just come around during the fall season. They're here 12 months out of the year. So this is a great time. It's their opportunity to shine. But there is a big following of haunted and paranormal activity, and we have a lot of that here in the Alton region.
Without a doubt. And Cory, thank you so much for stopping by and really filling us in on some of the things to do. Is there what's the best way for us to direct our listeners, our audience, to find out more information on the Great Rivers and Routes coverage area and things that we can do this spooky season?
Sure. Well, there's a couple of ways. One is our website. As you mentioned, it's chock filled with so many unique pieces of information, places to stay, events, restaurants, attractions. That's at www.riversandroutes.com. You can also follow us on our Facebook and our Instagram pages at Rivers and Routes. But I would also encourage your listeners to either download a copy of our Fall Winter Go Guide on our website, or stop at one of our 45 different locations around the region that has the actual hard copy of the Go Guide. It's a 30-page. We print it twice a year. It's more for inspiration as we continue to drive travel to and throughout our 6-county region here in Southwest Illinois.
Well, and too, I'm on the Go Guide now, and it's really cool. And Cory, before I let you go, I'd be remiss because do have to take care of a little bit of business really quick. The 90th season of Alton Little Theater, who's featured in the Go Guide, is continuing tonight after they had to reschedule a few performances for Beer for Breakfast, featuring Riverbender's own Randy Manning. Is Alton Little Theater celebrating the 90th birthday of being a landmark, Cory, not only in the 618, but throughout the region and throughout the country? One of the oldest, correct?
Well, it is the oldest, and they do an amazing job and it is it's a site. I mean, it's a business that provides quality entertainment, and they're one of many of our amazing partners that we are constantly selling to the motor coach business. Those performances, and they do an amazing job. In 90 years, Lee Cox and her team do amazing work, and they're wonderful partners of ours.
Absolutely. And Cory, they're wonderful partners of ours too. And if you could stop by and see me either tonight, tomorrow, or, why don't you come on a Saturday or Sunday? 4 middle-aged men having a little bit of a shaboozy or two over there at Alton Little Theater this weekend. For more ticket information, altonlittletheater.org. That's altonlittletheater.org. Cory Jobe, thank you so much, sir, for stopping by or calling in this morning and really filling us in. I appreciate your time, and I know that you're busy, and really cool that you stop in and fill us in on this today.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you so much. At 9:39, a quick break. We'll come back for more of our daily show after this in downtown Alton.